Fox News did a segment discussing the New York Times calling for marijuana legalization. And get this, they invited on the former Drug Czar to talk about it. Probably the least objective source in the country, other than the current Drug Czar. But here's a guy that made all of his money off of drugs being illegal. So what position do you think he's going to take? Obviously, he's going to say, well, yeah, drugs should continue to be illegal because that's how I fucking got rich and made my money. It's an absurdly biased source. But anyway, guys, what do you think of legal marijuana?
It's pretty stupid. They act like they live in another planet. More people are in treatment for marijuana than all other illegal drugs combined. More kids as teenagers are in treatment for marijuana than for alcoholism as teenagers. We're not keeping it out of the hands of kids and exploding a substance where we already have alcohol and tobacco, which are the single biggest cause of illness and death that's preventable. Adding a third substance is just highly... this isn't the way they treat environmental toxins. This isn't the way they treat regulations that affect the safety of Americans. All of a sudden they've decided that they want to live in the past. All the science, you've covered it at Fox, all the science almost monthly is showing more risk, and at a time when science is telling us one thing, the New York Times wants to act like it's time to be ruled by Cheech and Chong. It's insane.
It is insane. You know, you're talking about the science. You have been on this program talking about the science. It is proven that pot makes you dumb.
Yeah, steady use, especially as late teens, now can reduce IQ by 8 points, which is not just 8 points. It means you go from, if you had normal IQ, you drop by a whole fifth in your capacity to compete. How do we, when we want to be competitive, we want to be good to our children, how do we lower their IQ on a wide scale? And to say that you're going to keep this out of the hands of kids, look what's going on in Denver. Disaster. People cannot keep it out of the hands of kids. It's being marketed to kids. It's being marketed in high potencies. People there are terrified. I've met with them. We're going to try to help them a little bit. But the administration is utterly irresponsible, and it's just horrifying to the people who live there.
All right, first of all, this has nothing to do with President Obama and the administration. They didn't legalize marijuana in Colorado and Washington. That was those states that did it. The federal government has not passed a bill. The president has not signed a bill that says, we're legalizing weed in the United States of America. Obama has been helplessly moderate and centrist and quiet on this issue. Maybe he said a few things every once in a while that hint to the fact that it's a little fucked up what our drug policy is right now, because it is a little fucked up what our drug policy is right now. Scratch that. It's a lot fucked up, but he's incredibly moderate, so to slam him makes zero sense at all. Then, of course, I mean, what would a marijuana argument be, an anti-weed argument be without, the poor kids? Oh, we're destroying the lives of our kids. Ban it. Yeah, except nobody's arguing to legalize marijuana for kids. Nobody's arguing to legalize it for children. Most of the steps in the right direction around the country are geared towards legalize, tax, regulate as if it were alcohol or tobacco. But then that's another point that he makes. Like, well, alcohol and tobacco suck already, too. It fucks up so many lives. So we only add another one. Yeah, but wait a second. Are you going to be consistent, or are you going to admit that you're a hypocritical idiot? If you're going to be consistent, fine. You think alcohol and tobacco is the worst thing ever, so I take it you want to ban those, right? Are you consistent, or are you an idiot? Which is it? If you're consistent, I hate marijuana, but I'm consistent. I hate alcohol. I hate tobacco, I hate Red Bull, I hate caffeine, I hate Xanax. Ban all substances. All substances. Which is it? You can't have it both ways. Either, oh my God, substances are bad, protect everybody from them, ban it, do prohibition, or you believe in freedom. Hey, let's, allow people to take what they want, even if it might end up hurting them, or it might end up cutting their lives short, or some people can't handle it. That's the price of freedom. But I love how he throws in alcohol and tobacco without acknowledging that he's a hypocrite. He's like, those things are bad, don't add another one. But are you saying ban those too? Because that's the only way I would respect your argument. I disagree with it, but I'd respect it because at least you're consistent. Ban weed, but also ban alcohol and tobacco. See, the thing is, they know that they can't win on that point. They know that that's a horrible idea to ban those things, so he just danced around it, right? Oh, those things are bad too, don't add another one. but you're not being logically consistent. So either be logically consistent, or I'm going to fucking tear you down and rip you 37 new assholes like I'm doing right now. And then he says, well, look, people need marijuana treatment. There's so many people that need marijuana treatment. Oh, my God. You fucking idiot. Do you understand that marijuana is not physically addictive? The idea that anybody goes to treatment for marijuana. Yeah, you know who does? Kids who are like 17 or 18 years old that got their hands on it young, and their parents are living in upper middle class suburbia, and they're like, oh, little Joshua has smoked too much weed. Send him to get some therapy. Yeah, that's who's going to marijuana, treatment. That's who's sitting there listening to how, oh, it's so addictive and it's so bad. Meanwhile, it's a scientific fact that marijuana is not physically addictive. And then there are some other, made-up points. Well, these aren't the these people don't say get rid of environmental regulations and breathe in toxins, but they're saying you could have marijuana. I don't see the connection at all. So because we want to give people the freedom to put in their body whatever they want to put in their body, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, right? You're equating that to allowing ExxonMobil or some fracking company or some chemical company, without your consent or permission, pumping toxins into the air that will kill you. That's what you're comparing it to. That's what you're comparing it to. Even though one is a personal decision and there are benefits like getting you high, opening up your mind, etc., recreational use, and the other one is you being poisoned. You're comparing the two? You're one of the silliest people I've ever heard speak in my life. And then finally, well, Colorado is a disaster. Crime has gone down, tax revenue has gone up, and there's a whole new booming industry. It is the opposite of a disaster. Even they admit that, okay? Everybody admits that. Republicans have come to admit that in recent times. But, proven pot, it's been proven that pot makes you dumb. It's been proven. Oh, has it really? Did you know that study was done by, it was funded by anti-drug government agencies? So in other words, the same groups of people that make all of their money because drugs are illegal have funded a study that says, conveniently, oh, drugs are so bad and they should continue to be illegal. There's a massive conflict of interest there. But even if we accept the study, which we shouldn't because it's bullshit, you do understand that if they did that same study on Red Bull, if they did that same study on alcohol, if they did that same study on anything, people would realize, wow, if you do that at a young age, it's going to fuck you up. Which, again, is why nobody's arguing to legalize it for young people. Every argument they used was comically stupid, and nobody should take them seriously.